Games and Couples. I'm Colin Auschrat, registered psychologist, couples counselor, and games master. And I'm going to be talking about my show. This is the first one. And we are going to be discussing relationship skills, but we're going to be discussing them from a slightly different angle than usual, and that's using board games and card games. Most couples that I work with struggle to build new bonding rituals and to make them stick because they start with something that's too difficult. They don't know how to compromise, they don't know how to discuss the new bonding ritual, and they don't even have a common language from which to discuss that bonding ritual. So this skill, learning how to pick a game together, already forms the basis of a new relationship skill. How do we try to find a way to compromise on something as simple as something new that we want to add to the relationship? It's a tough discussion to have, and you have to take a lot of risks, and you have to really let a person know what bothers you and what hurts you and what you enjoy. And what's more is the two of you have to work together to try and build a common language from which to approach that topic. Put simply, you need the right words to be able to say to your partner, I don't like cooperative games. They're too slow and boring. I don't like it when it has lots of little figures and things. That bothers me too. I like games to be about other things. I like them to be competitive, and I like them to be straightforward. Can we play something like that? You can ask a partner, please give me clear instructions on what you're looking for. Please be clear about what you want to enjoy and what you want to share with me. But you're not going to get the answer you need. And it's not because they don't want to tell you. It's because oftentimes they don't know how to tell you. So building a common language from which to approach, how do we create a new bonding ritual to make the friendship component of this relationship stronger, will give you skills to negotiate all sorts of new strategies, all sorts of new things that you want to adapt to, and all sorts of new things that you want to try with your partner. A couple's bonding ritual is an activity that the two agree upon to prioritize and work towards and build together. It's a way to mark the time, it's a reason to spend time together, and the activity, the goal of it is just to draw the two people together so that they can find a way to interact. Without that activity, without that thing to be together on, people deteriorate really quickly. And it's not the activity, it's the conversations we have during the activity that matters. It's the way we talk to each other during the activity. It's the way we're there for each other during the activity. The reason I like to use things like board games or card games to help couples find that bonding ritual is that we're using something that isn't super emotionally charged. And if it's not extremely emotionally charged, people can stay grounded longer, they can think better, and they can learn faster. It's one of the reasons we as human beings, we learn faster when we play. We're calmer. We're not as fixated on things. We're not judging ourselves. And when that happens, anything's possible. Cooperative and competitive. So in a cooperative game, you and your partner, and remember, we're only talking about two-player games now, or games that can be played as a two-player game. So you and your partner work together against the game mechanics, or some timer. A competitive game means that you act against your partner. The two of you are in opposition as you move throughout the game. It tends to have stricter win conditions and can often lead to hurt feelings. I'm going to be making reference to Gottman couples counseling theory and emotionally focused couples counseling theory throughout the duration of my program, drawing little bits from other theories as we go. For my first show, I wanted to make sure to leave you on something that was valuable and something you could start thinking about already. And that's two terms that you should probably discuss with your partner right off the bat before you set up any kind of games. Yeah, those two terms are cooperative and competitive. Now, there are games that are mixtures of both, but let's just start with the two terms right off the bat. It is going to be of the utmost importance that you find a way to understand your partner's approach to gaming and board games. Some people will only play things that are competitive. Some people will only play things that are cooperative, and some really appreciate a mix. Now, when you're using board games and card games specifically to build skills for your relationship, you're going to want to try to steer clear of things like, well, that's my preference and that's what I like, because I think it's interesting that that's your preference and that's what you like. And it might indicate that you need, for the relationship's sake, to go outside your comfort zone and start learning some of the skills that exist outside of that. Now, with the competitive and the cooperative gaming approach, if you're looking to build more of the friendship components of the relationship, which tend to be more foundational, and if those deteriorate, you're going to see problems all throughout the entire relationship, then you're probably better off picking a game that is cooperative by nature, or at least quite cooperative or semi-cooperative. If you're looking to focus more on conflict management and how we get through tough situations when difficult feelings are a problem, when we don't always agree, when we're in opposition to one another, what happens when I outsmart you and crush your character and you're forced to leave the game, then you're probably looking for something a little bit more along the competitive side. But you're going to need to figure out with your partner what he or she prefers and what works for them. So start it out there, guys. Figure out competitive or cooperative, and we'll cover a little bit more about what direction to go in our next program. We're going to talk about things like how to build it into a proper date, how to make sure we're using the skills we need, how to talk to one another, and how to build it and keep it functioning. So until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep it nerdy.